What's going on, guys? My name is Iggy Odighizuwa, and I'm the founder of CharlieAI.io. Welcome to Founders Fire, and I'm building the first 8-figure AI-powered sales department. I don't even know how to say it, but I'm building a company that is going to do 8 figures this year, and it is exclusively powered by our AI setting department. So this year to date, so far in 2026, we've done 5.1 million in cash collected, and our AI has booked 5,020 calls. 2,676 of those calls have been taken by our sales team. 2,450 of those calls were offered by our sales team. And so far, our sales team has closed 684 deals. We've signed up 684 new patients for our functional health brand at a 53% show rate and an average sales conversion of 25%. And what we spent to generate that 5.1 million this year, we've spent about $800,000 to generate 5.1 million in cash. So I share that because if you're not using AI inside of your sales process, you are so far behind. It is absolutely ridiculous, because I'm building an 8-figure brand in the B2C market right now that's going to do 10 million this year, exclusively powered by Charlie AI, and right now 8 closers. So Charlie with 8 closers has produced 5.1 million in cash collected, and you're over there wondering if AI will work for your business. Now, I'm going to help you answer that question. It does work. 1,000% it works. I am living proof that it's working right now. And we're not even the biggest account using Charlie to print that much money. We've got companies like absolutely cleaning up with Charlie. So it works. The reason why it doesn't work for most people is because their expectations around what AI should do and how AI should work inside of their business is completely unrealistic. And their inability to zoom out and look at the bigger picture is difficult. So many entrepreneurs, they'll start using Charlie and they'll see it burn some leads and want to turn it off immediately. Well, good luck trying to scale your business with AI if you have a knee-jerk reaction like that. You know the amount of leads Charlie has burned to produce 5,000 bookings? I don't know. It's a lot. I don't care. I don't look. I look at the numbers, right? I look at the numbers. I have specific KPIs that I'm looking at when it comes to how I integrate Charlie into our sales process. I want the response rate to be above 25%. I want the response-to-CTA to be above 30%. I want the lead-to-CTA to be minimum 15%, and I want the lead-to-book to be minimum 10%. That's my foundation for our call funnels when I plug Charlie into them. If we get those baselines, Charlie can do no wrong. If we're hitting those baselines and we have a low show rate, then I look to add more friction in the messaging within Charlie. If we're hitting those baseline and we have a high show rate but a high DQ rate, I'm implementing buyer IQ to ensure Charlie is able to book only financially qualified calls once they've had a conversation and meet our intent parameters. So we're doing those things and we're putting those parameters in place to ensure that when Charlie does book a call, it's a financially viable prospect. As you just saw, it works. So the fact that people are so high strung about how AI is messaging leads is ridiculous to me, because you have to be able to zoom out and you're going to burn some leads to train the thing. If you don't have your process dialed in to a point where you can really afford that, you shouldn't be looking to implement AI too early. Get your process figured out, do it manually and get it dialed in manually so you have documented proof that the process that you're following right now works before you try and delegate it to AI. So before I implement AI into our sales function, into our marketing, into our backend, we have AI everywhere. What we do is first we do the process manually, and we go through the process manually as many iterations as we need to until we get the manual process perfect. And perfect meaning it's delivering results consistently, and perfect meaning that I can give it to somebody else to execute and it's going to deliver results. And so before I give it to somebody else to execute, I opt to give it to AI to execute first because the AI is going to execute the process exactly the way that I mapped out. And if it's not delivering the results that I want, executing the process exactly the way that I mapped out, guess what needs to change? Not the AI. I need to change the process and improve the process so that when the AI implements it, it delivers the results that I want. So my focus is I start looking at how do I turn this into a workflow process? How do I document it in a way that I can delegate it to AI and it's going to execute it at a very, very high level? So going from 0 to 6 figures with a business, you're just brute forcing it. Going from 6 to 7 figures in the business, you're a little systemized, but you're really like just you're brute forcing high volume. But there's no way for you to like sustainably brute force your way from 7 to 8 figures. It's just not going to happen. You have to operationalize everything. You have to systemize your back end. You have to systemize your front end. You have to systemize your lead gen. You have to systemize your sales process. You have to systemize so many different things. And the more systemized you can think and the more systematic you can be in how you develop your processes, the more efficient you can be and delegate it to AI and have AI run those things. So I'm a fan of having humans in the roles where they're going to be connecting and building a relationship with another human in the most meaningful way. So the areas where we have humans in our organization is in sales for our products that we're selling that are more than $3,000. Anything less than that, you can sell on a webinar, and you could actually have AI sell products that are 97 to like $500. But Charlie's actually about to go live with a client, and it's going to be selling a $997 a year software subscription. And we've been testing it. It's crushing the testing. Like, I'm super excited about that. But you operationalize like all the different areas in the business where we have humans are for those relationships. So we have sales, our closers talking to people. We have our account managers. We have our CX. CX is the part where it's likely going to get super augmented with AI, and we might start systematically reducing the amount of CX that we need because AI can do a lot of the CX type role, right? But we'll have level 2 support and level 3 support within CX so that the first layer is AI, and then once it gets escalated, they're talking to a real person, right? So you want to think about what are the areas where having a personal human connection where you're building a meaningful relationship with the customer yields indirect compounding effects that you couldn't track on a sheet of paper on a spreadsheet, right? So that's how I think about like the workflows and where do we have people on our team, right? We have people on our team where like we need the human element to be able to create that compounding vehicle and that building that goodwill and what I call the invisible hand that drives us forward and is turning this flywheel that allows us to grow and expand. So within that health brand, AI is literally everywhere from the time they click on one of our ad campaigns to the time they show up to a call. That's all AI. Where AI, and then we have humans there. And then after that, like even the follow-ups and things like that, we're going to start to have AI plug into that part and help with the handoff to a human when they're ready to start, when they're getting onboarded. And then even on the patient side, the next area where we're plugging AI into is going to be helping with the patient management, touch points, follow-ups, check-ins, NPA surveys, support requests, escalations, things like that. Like those things we're going to be having AI layered into the back end so that the people, when they're showing up for those support calls or checking in with someone, they can be present and they can have all the information that they need with context available to them because the AI has already done the work of gathering that information for them. So when you're looking at growing and scaling your business, you got to go from being so reactive to everything to start being able to zoom out and look at the process and think through how do I build out a system that enables AI to be successful if I want to implement it. So if you're going to start implementing and integrating AI into your business, you need to have those things documented. You need to have those processes mapped out, and you need to be able to and be willing to burn and break several eggs before it yields the outcome that you want. And the only way you can stomach that is that if you've done the work manually to deliver results and you're patient enough to iterate it in a way where the AI can start doing the work for you. And then you get in a position where you just really get to love business again. Like, I've built multiple 7 to 8 figure companies that we burned down because I just got burnt out, right? And I just didn't enjoy it. Now we're building multiple 8. We're looking to build a 9-figure organization, and I've never been so excited to endeavor on that in my entire life because of the kind of leverage that we have with the technology that we're building. So transparently, I'm building Charlie for me. If you don't use Charlie, like, I don't care. I'm building Charlie for me and all the different companies in my portfolio that I'm building and scaling. Like, it is such a hack. It is such an unfair advantage what we've built. Like, Charlie can manage the leads, is doing financial enrichment to get their credit score, to get their annual income, is pre-qualifying them for financing, is confirming their appointments, is sending the appointment reminders, is rebooking no-shows, is canceling appointments and rebooking them, is helping people reschedule their appointments, it's sending follow-ups for our team. My goodness, like, it is such a hack. And then even better than that, it's taking the data of our most qualified leads and training Facebook on those data points so that it can train Meta to generate better leads for us. So it's just like, you put all those things together, you have such an unfair advantage. And if you're not using it, you are missing out in such a big way. So this is a shameless plug for you to go to charlieai.io and request a damn demo of the platform, because it is freaking phenomenal. And it's allowed me to really thoroughly enjoy running a business in a way that right now, my 3rd kid was just born. Like, I get to watch my kids every morning. I get to help put them down in the evenings. I still travel for work here and there, but the core components of the business that used to require so much of my bandwidth because it was so impactful for revenue, a lot of those core components are being ran by Charlie in a way that gives us high leverage and gives me my bandwidth back. So again, go to charlieai.io and get a damn demo of the platform. And if you're generating more than 1,000 leads a month and you're not using something like that, you're losing a lot of money. I just tell you that right now. So hopefully you find this helpful. Till next time, stay calm, change lives, and that business on your terms. Peace.